Coming back to our markets, the mood is great right now. We saw the market up yesterday 1.2%. And if you extend that gain to January 2012, it's now up 61%. So a very strong rally we're seeing. But an interesting point to note as well is that it's still about 50% lower than the market's high in March 2008. Let's cross to the Nigerian Stock Exchange now to hear from Layi Olaleru. He is a divisional head of operations at Cordros Capital. Layi, can you give us an update on the market today? I hear that the market is shedding some weight this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Wole, and thank you for having me on your program once again. Yeah, as said, the last time I checked about 15 minutes ago, the market is down by 15 basis points. And this is not coming as a surprise, basically because for the past 7 trading days, we've been seeing the market rallying up. And so at some point in time, the profit takers will definitely come into action. And I think they look as if they are overwhelming the bulls that has been on the run for the past couple of days. I mean, notably, if you look at the losers table, you will see some of the big cap stocks like GlaxoSmithKline, you see Guinness, you see flour mills, you see Nigerian breweries. They've been shedding some weight, and I think that largely accounted for the reduction in terms of gain that we've been seeing in today's trading indices. But nonetheless, I mean, if you look at the total gainers and losers, I still think that more stocks are gaining today than the losers. So, I mean, it's too early for us to predict how the day will end, but we're hoping for the best.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Of course, it's been on a phenomenal run these last few weeks. But coming back to what people are buying, I know that you're ahead of sales at Cordros Capital. Give us a sense of what the institutions are buying. You're dealing with both local and foreign institutions, I imagine. So can you just give us a sense of what they're buying in the context of this rally? Because some people are already saying some stocks are pretty expensive. And then, of course, we're also beginning to see a fairly strong rally in small to medium cap companies as well.
Yeah, thank you. I think basically the institutions are much more careful in taking positions in stocks compared to the local individual private buyers. If you note what the institutions are buying, they're basically buying into mid-cap stocks and high-cap stocks that have good fundamentals. And largely you see the banking stocks taking the big chunk of the foreign inflows, and also you see the brewery sector and some good stocks in the consumer goods. But if you come to compare it with the local investors have majorly been interested in low-cap stock that they feel they can speculate on and give quick returns within short time. And I mean, they've been proven right since the beginning of this year. If you've been looking at what has been happening in the market, and if you unpick some of the stocks that we're speaking about, you see a Wole bank that has gained over 100% in the past 30 trading days. Yeah. You see a Unity bank that has given fantastic returns. I mean, these are the kind of returns you don't easily see in the big cap stock. But so I believe the gamble is paying off for the local investors, while also the institutional investors that we know them as long-term buyers are also making some pretty gain, but maybe not as much as what the local investors have been making on their investments.
But you know, some of the names you just mentioned, many will say are pretty risky to get in. Of course, the market is a risky place to be. But which stocks are you pitching to investors right now?
If you ask me to pick, I would rather be picking those ones that I know they are very sure to give me good returns in terms of dividend and bonuses that we're expecting. And I will basically be referring my clients to buy the Tier 1 and Tier 2 banks, because on the back of the Q3 result that we've seen last year, I mean, it's basically a no-brainer that these companies are going to end up with a very good full-year results, and we definitely see them coming up with bonuses and dividends that are bigger than what we've seen last year. But on the low-cap ones, I mean, a Wole bank may not come out with any dividend, but I mean, they are a good stock for speculation, because like I always tell my investors, a bank with a book value that is higher than its trading price is a good stock to buy, because if you look at the BVPS, which is the floor pricing for most of these banks, they are pretty much above 50 kobo. So, I mean, they are also making good gains on their own investment. They may not necessarily be looking forward to dividends, but they can make their own dividends at home by buying the stock at a low price and selling at a higher price and keeping their own gains as well.